Now, another component that we'll talk about is the production possibilities frontier. In short, which means or which shows the ability of the economy to produce. Okay. So again, we'll start with the definition. So diagram, or not real diagram. Let's say it's a graph. So a graph that shows the combinations of output that the economy can possibly produce given the available factors of production and the available production technology. Okay. So here also we'll be making an assumption in the sense that an economy produces millions of goods, but to draw the graph, we'll take only 2 goods. Okay. So we'll start with this. That consider an economy. That produce only 2 goods. Okay. So how the PPF does look like? So let's say this is Q1 and this is Q2. In general, the PPA looks like a concave curve. Okay, concave to the origin curve. So this curve is concave to the origin. Always mention to the origin because apart from without that it means it can mean a lot of different things. Okay. So this is our PPF. So let us look at a point C which is outside the PPF. Then look at some points F and E which are sort of on the extremes. Okay. And then just look at some points A and some points B which are sort of in the middle. So if we look at A, then we get this this Q11 and Q21. So at point A, the economy produces Q11 amount of the first commodity, and Q21 of the second commodity. And at B, Q22 amount of the second commodity and Q12 amount of the first commodity. So as you can see that if the economy tries to produce quantity 1 more, then a sacrifice has to be made in terms of lesser production of second commodity. And what is the reason? The reason is scarcity. And the scarcity of what? The scarcity of inputs, the scarcity of resources. So you can say that scarcity of resources causes some amount of one good to be sacrificed so that inputs used in the production inputs used in the production of that good is freed and used in the higher production of another good. Right? So that justifies what? So this shows that scarcity causes PPF to be negatively sloped. Negatively sloped, right? So you cannot keep on producing higher and higher amounts of both the goods. Now that much is fine. But as we know from mathematics, that concavity is a second order scenario, right? So the slope is changing, and the change of slope is basically negative. So the second order is negative. So what do you mean by that? So before we go into that, let us consider some other points also. Okay, then we'll talk about that. So now we know that with scarce resources, another idea that comes into play is efficiency, right? So scarcity and efficiency. So how that all of that is related to PPF? So the economy can produce any combination on or inside the PPF but points outside the PPF are not feasible. Feasible means you cannot reach them. So they are not feasible given the resources. Given the resources. Such as okay, we'll write that separately. Resources. Okay. Okay. Now we'll understand that through the diagrams. So as for example, producing at point C is not feasible. Okay. Now, understand this, that PPF shows the maximum that the economy can produce. That means on the PPF, on this graph, no resources are being used. And at each and every point, that combination of Q1 and Q2 is being produced, which can be produced at max. Okay. So that means what? That means on this line or on this graph, resources are used efficiently. Okay. So if we talk about PPF and efficiency, then we can have two results. And result one is that an outcome is said to be efficient. An outcome is said to be efficient if the economy is producing the maximum that it can from the scarce resources available. Okay. So this takes us to two more important one-liners, right? And those one-liners are these. So one result is points on PPF are points of efficient production. Efficient production. Think of this. What amount of Q1 and what amount of Q2 will be produced? That's a separate question. But they are points of efficient production. Points of efficient production. So in our diagram, we have examples such as our points A, then B, then E, then F, right? And that leads us to another result. Which is that points inside PPF are inefficient, or not are, rather shows inefficient points of production. Okay. As for example, D. So points inside PPF shows inefficient points of production. Okay, or maybe. Okay. So such as D. Let's say D is here. Okay. Now, why it is inefficient? Because this D, okay, you can produce D obviously, but look at this. This D can be produced with a lower level of inputs also, right? So given the inputs, you can produce something like A or B, but compared to A and B, you are producing both Q1, lower Q1 and lower Q2. So that doesn't make any point. Okay. So we have got three regions: inside PPF, inefficient; on the PPF, efficient; and beyond PPF is not feasible, right? Not feasible. Okay. So now, as we saw that a PPF, on the PPF, if you want to go from A to B, you get higher output in terms of higher output of one in terms of the lower output of the other. So that means PPF shows the trade-off that is involved in the production of both the goods. And by trade-off, we reach the opportunity cost. So if you look at the PPF, if you look at the slope, then you will understand the, for example, the slope at point A, dq to dq1. Okay, so let's say at A, you will get dq to dq1 at q1 equal to q11. This will, what will this show? This will show if you want to increase q1, or if you increase q1, how much q2 you have to sacrifice. So in that sense, the slope of the PPF talks about the trade-off, and by that it talks about the opportunity cost of producing q1, and that is given by the not only the slope but also by the change of slope. So let's go into that. Okay. So PPF and opportunity cost. Okay. So the slope of PPF, measures the opportunity cost. And no, we cannot wait there. Opportunity cost. And opportunity cost of producing good one in terms of good 2, right? And that is well delivered if you take if you understand this differential. Okay, but then again, we looked at the curve and we saw that it is concave, that it has something to tell about the second order, and by that we mean that it has something to tell about how this opportunity cost changes starting from F to E. So let's look at that also. So the opportunity cost is not constant, but varies depending on the amount of each good being produced, right? So how can we know that? So let's just continue. This is reflected in the shape of PPF, which is concave to the origin. Now PPF can also be a downward sloping straight line, but that rarely happens. Okay, which is concave to the origin. As it is concave, the opportunity cost of producing good 1 is highest at a point like E. A point like E where PPF is much steeper. And similarly, at F, the opportunity cost of producing good 1 is lower as PPF is flatter. So if you can see that if this is Q1, going to amount increase by this amount, then the change in Q2 will be quite low. But if we talk about E, and if we take this amount in the background here, okay, then as you can see that the amount, when that is not quite straight, so the amount of Q2 that has to be sacrificed here is much higher and here much lower. So obviously opportunity cost is higher here and lower here. So if we can write something like OC, then it goes like this. But remember, this is the opportunity cost of producing good one. That is very important, the opportunity cost of producing good one. So if I say good two, then the answer is just the opposite. Okay, always remember that. Okay, then there is one last connection that we have, is that we said that how much can you produce is limited by the production technology that you are using. So if you have better technology, you can produce more. So that takes us to PPF and production technology, or let us write it in a more better words. So PPF and productivity. Okay. And what is productivity? Productivity is basically the amount that labors or any input can produce either on average, or if you add one additional input, then the amount of increase in production that it brings in. Okay, so let's just look at that. So the trade-off, of producing different goods not of, the trade-off, this will be among. So the trade-off among producing different goods can change over time. Okay, can change over time, comma, if some technological advancement raises the productivity of input or inputs. So in bracket, if I'm writing S, that means input, then within the first bracket S, that means input. So one input or more. Okay, now we must also say that the change in PPF will be guided by the sector or output. No, guided by the, guided by the product, the production technology of which has experienced such an advancement. So the change in PPF will be guided by the production technology of which has experienced such an advancement. That means the change in PPF will be different if good 2 experiences a technological advances. It will be different if good 1 faces that, and it will be different if both of them faces that. So in that notion, let us just draw 3 very small diagrams. Okay. In each of them, we are going to draw 2 PPF. So first, let us draw this one. And here, as you can see, okay, let me just write it in a better, so draw it in a slightly better way. So if this is the first one, then this will be your PPF. So where, technology advanced for Q2, which implies basically higher production with same resources. That's what technological advancement stands for. Right. Rise in productivity means basically higher production with same resources. So obviously, for Q1 nothing will change, but for Q2 the highest point will change. And see, if you are producing at a point like A, now you can move to a point like G, where the production level of both the commodities increase. So as you have technological advancement in one sector, that is the sector of second commodity, that doesn't mean that in the end you cannot have higher production for good 1. So with the same resources, technological advancement in the one industry may lead to the higher production of both the goods. Okay, so that's the same thing can have for good 1 also, right? So in this diagram we have the technological advancement for good 1, and here also we can have some A1, and then moving on to a higher point like G1. So what is the important result, the final result that we have? The result is that that productivity gain in one good may lead to, or not may, actually can, whether we choose or not, that's a different thing. So can lead to higher production of both goods. Okay. So in the long term, if we need our efficient set to be increased, or the amount of efficient product to be increased, then technological advancement is obviously a necessity.